Hello, and we are back again. I would like to apologize as I usually do. It's become a habit. I am sorry, but yes, it's become a habit of me apologizing that it's been a while since I've recorded. I don't even need to justify it. I do apologize. But yeah, we're back, and today we are talking about this interesting case. I know I said I wanted to talk about civil cases because I feel like we've been talking about criminal cases a lot. But every time I'm browsing through, I always encounter these interesting criminal cases, just like this one. And this case was pretty popular, not because of the case of the legal outcome. I mean, yeah, because this was a defilement case and the person got acquitted, which you don't normally see with cases of defilement, but this guy was acquitted. But that was not the only exciting thing about this case. The reason why it caught the attention of the media was because of the way the judgment was written. And the judgment was delivered by none other than our Elijah Blackboard. So he was a senior magistrate then, but now he's with the High Court. And yes, his full name is Elijah Blackboard Dazilikwiza Bachalo Daniels, and I really hope I'm saying this right. But yes, Elijah Blackboard Dazilikwiza Bachalo Daniels is the man behind this judgment. And the judgments just read like poetry, to be honest. And his writing skills tend to be criticized. I'm not sure if criticized is the right word in this circumstance, but it does carry different perspectives depending on who you're talking to. Others say he's a judge, he's not supposed to be writing like it's literature, because law is supposed to be clear. So if you write it in a way that it reads like a poem, it reads like poetry, yeah, it's not law. That's what others say. Personally, I feel like he balances, and I feel like this is the energy that we need with the judiciary, because the judgments are they are not fun. They are not fun to go through. So personally, I do feel like he balances, and the energy that he brings is something that we need in the judiciary. Okay, now let's dive into what exactly happened. Let's dive into this case. So it's the Republic versus Charles Gondwe. This is a defilement trial where the accused ended up being acquitted. Okay, so let's get into it. The accused, our Charles Gondwe, who was an 18-year-old male. The complainant was a 15-year-old girl, and the charge was defilement, which is contrary to section 138, subsection 1 of the Penal Code. And under this section, it is an offense for any person to have sexual intercourse with a girl that is under the age of 16, and consent is not a defense. However, the law also provides an exception. If the accused can prove that he had a reasonable and honest belief that the girl was over 16, then the offense is deemed to have not been committed. Okay, so now let's dive into what exactly happened. Our Charles Gondwe here and the girl were in a consensual relationship. She went to the house and stayed there for 3 days, during which they had sexual intercourse multiple times. After she became pregnant, her mother reported the matter to the police, and Charles was arrested and he was charged with defilement. And yeah, now we're in court now. Okay, allow me to just read the first sentence of this judgment, just so you understand when we're talking about the writing of our honorable judge. So he says, they enjoyed the company of each other with no sense of restraint or guilt. When at it, they manifested pleasure and passion for each other's person. Oh, this already reads like a steamy novel. Come on. Okay, I got so carried away. But that paragraph alone made this case go viral. So anyway, Charles' defense was that the girl told him that she was 17 and her behavior and sexual history matched the age. And even her parents supported the relationship to a point where when they found out she got pregnant, they told him to marry her. So yeah, he was still working under the assumption that, okay, she is of age. And in court, the girl herself confirmed it. She said she was 17 and she had 2 previous boyfriends of who she was sexually active with, and she had also slept at their homes. And yes, she did consent to sex with our Charles here and stayed with him for 3 days. Now let's remember, consent does not matter when it comes to defilement. So when the girl is, it does not matter. Consent does not matter. But the defense of mistaken but reasonable belief, it does matter. And in this case, it did help Charles. And the court had to decide, did Charles genuinely believe she was over 16? And was that belief reasonable? So our then magistrate, Daniels, found that yes, it was reasonable. So he ruled that the girl mispresented her age and that her sexual history and her independent conduct, her parents' silence and the support of the relationship, and he ruled that the accused had no reason to doubt that she was 17. So allow me to read paragraph 23 of this judgment. So it reads, I find that the accused person was mistaken as to the exact age of the victim, mainly from the conduct of the parents of the victim and also the unmatched sexual conduct of the victim, which made it possible for the accused to mistakenly believe, and reasonably so in my view, that the victim was not of the age of 15 but rather 17 years as she claimed. Her sexual experience outlived her age, and she made a representation to the accused person as regards her age, which the accused person had no reason to doubt as to its veracity. Yeah, that is our Daniels. That is our honorable. I love this guy. Okay, fast forward. What was the verdict? Our Charles Gondwe here was acquitted, and he had been in custody for 8 months by then. But the court found that the statutory defense, which he claimed of the reason he was mistaken, it applied. So he was released, and he was released basically. Okay, so what's our take here? Defilement is a strict liability offense. If a girl is under 16, it is a crime and consent does not matter. But the law recognizes a statutory defense where the accused genuinely and reasonably believed she was over 16. So that defense was successfully raised in this case, and Charles Gondwe was acquitted. Okay guys, so that was the case of Republic versus Charles Gondwe, a trial that raised important questions about how we interpret age, belief, and consent around the legal system. And let me just say this, say what you want, but our Honorable Daniels, he is giving us law with personality. And now that he's at the High Court, I can guarantee you will be reading a lot of thought-provoking and unfiltered decisions from him. But anyway, this has been Law Made Simple. You've been with me, your host as usual, Bempo Male. And if you enjoyed this episode or learned something new, please do not forget to share it and subscribe. We are available on Spotify and YouTube. And as usual, I'll also include the full citation of the case. If you need me to send you a copy, just let me know. Until next time, I love you guys. Stay informed, stay tuned.